money!
Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. This is El Prazo Man going live here. We are going to do a quick review of Mr. Gacha Smack here, talking about how there is some open world gacha fatigue. And I'm just going to show you guys a quick clip from my stream from earlier this evening. And I feel like I poked some pretty good holes in his argument. I think this guy's kind of a jackass. Nothing really makes sense. It's not very, it's quite incoherent. I don't think it holds a lot of weight. And it's just, it doesn't stand up to even the least bit of scrutiny if you use your brain. He's basically trying to compare open world gacha games to games like Elden Ring and The Witcher 3, Zelda, things like that. And so, anyways, we're going to get into it here, but please remember, guys, and subscribe to the channel. It is very tough for me to get these first couple hundred subs, as I'm sure you know. So please sub to the channel, leave a comment, like the video. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and what you would like to see me do more of on the channel. We're trying to kind of change it up and not just do, you know, Wuthering Waves character guides, and you know, that's kind of been played out, right? So please, without further ado, enjoy my roasting of Mr. Gacha Smack. Time to bitch smack Mr. Gacha Smack. Here we go. Roll the tape.
This video is called Is Open World Gacha Fatigue Real by Genizat. I'm curious to see what his points are going to be as opposed to my own points, to what leads to that particular fatigue. Without further ado, let's get into it.
There are currently 6 gacha games released that are 3D open world, with another 10 on the way. That's a total of 16 3D open world gacha games.
I'll be real, I actually feel exposed. I should probably...
Wait, and what is the problem with that? People enjoy them, or they don't, and they don't play them. This is stupid. The entire premise of this video is absolutely retarded. The entire premise of this video is retarded. I'm less than a minute. I'm a minute and 6 in, and I already feel stupid for clicking on this. So, I'm blaming you for this, Goku.
Remove the gacha in my name because I didn't know there were 16 games coming out. Dear God.
When will the madness end?
He said 10 games coming out. There's 6 that are already out.
Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Tower of Fantasy, Arknight's Endfield, Seven Deadly Sins Origin, Neverness to Everness, Azure Permelia, Rewinding Cadence, Honkai Nexus Anima, Unending Dawn, Silver...
Okay, a lot of these nobody fucking cares about. Tower of whatever, yeah, nobody fucking cares about that game anymore. If they ever did.
Palace, Wang Yue, Barsapir, Project...
Okay, hold on. I knew every single game except Unending Dawn. Wang Yue, is that what he said? I didn't know that one either.
2/3, Dragon Sword Awakening, and I'll add in Ananta as a special exception since people won't stop talking about it in regards to 3D open world gacha games.
Okay, yeah, that is a lot of gacha games. I will say the last one too is something I
Palace,
didn't know.
Wang Yue, Barsapir, Project 2/3, Dragon Sword Awakening.
Oh, Dragon Sword Awakening, that's right. So this game is no longer a gacha game. They removed it. There's an insane amount of drama surrounding that Korea game, but it's now just a game. I think it's $30 on Steam, and a lot of people are actually receiving it quite well. They're saying it's a mixture of Genshin Impact plus Monster Hunter plus like I think Grand Blue Fantasy. I think they even drew some correlations there. I'm not sure. I've been kind of curious. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious, but I do kind of want to check the game out because they removed the gacha in it. That said, that's a lot of different gacha games dropping that are in the open world category. And why do they all feel kind of like samey, or you feel like you're not getting anything new out of these gacha games? If you're this target audience, that's the conversation I want to talk about. I'm gonna let them cook a little bit more.
And I'll add in Ananta as a special exception since people won't stop talking about it in regards to 3D open world gacha games. I probably even missed some, and who knows how many others haven't even been announced yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Since there's so many 3D open world gacha games releasing, there's some question to ask. Is there open world gacha fatigue? Which will be the first to die? And
Okay. I think I've explained this in another video, but this to me is like capitalism 101, right? Like there's the market will eventually be saturated because there is money to be made. There is money being spent in this space. People are spending millions of dollars on these games, and while maybe some people are getting gacha fatigue, obviously not enough. And what will happen is if enough people do start to feel that, then a lot of these games will die off. And you can see my other video. I can't remember what it's called. It's been a while. It's a video I made like 2 months ago. Basically that competition is the best thing for the gacha sphere. I believe is what it's called. Competition is the healthiest thing for the gacha sphere. Survival of the fittest is what the thumbnail says. But anyway, it is survival of the fittest, right? The best products will survive. That's what happens is products are made, they're taken to market, they're beta tested, they are met with either critical acclaim or maybe disdain or maybe mixed reviews, but nonetheless, they are released, they come out, and people either like them or they don't, they spend money on them or they don't, and, you know, CCs cover them or they don't, and life goes on. And this is the nature of all things in life when it comes to commerce. This has been going on since the dawn of time, since man invented the wheel and whatever, and barter systems became a thing. This has been going on since long before the Silk Road, and it's certainly going to go on long beyond the fad of gacha gaming. So I don't really see what all the fuss is about and why a video needs to be made over this. Nonetheless, let's find out what this jackass or these jackasses have to say next about this moot point.
Who is making these games?
100% there is absolutely open world gacha fatigue. I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I know a damn decent amount of individuals who are tired of playing open world gacha games.
Let's address some of these questions.
Fuck, dude, this is a 36-minute video. I'm not going to subject you to all 36 minutes. I promise you that.
In this video, but first, determine what the criteria for an open world 3D gacha is. I'd say
Okay. Let me cook
the important aspects are,
I'm going to say selling gacha characters and gacha weapons. Obviously, creating big, beautiful worlds that are empty as hell, albeit, but big, beautiful, vibrant, open worlds for you to explore. And then the third option, I would say the third option
end game
for meeting the open world gacha game criteria is main story progression. Yeah, a never-ending story.
1, as an open world where a large part of the gameplay is about exploration. 2, as a gacha system related to pulling characters.
Okay, we're two for two.
And 3, you can jump. Why does
I kind of agree with that, actually. It drives me nuts, these games where you can't jump.
What the fuck? That was a troll, bro.
Jumping matter?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know many open world games where you can't jump.
Because an open world game with exploration doesn't really exist in this genre if you can't maneuver around with ease. Also, not being able to jump feels wrong. Ever
Yeah,
that's
bro,
right.
Exposed Zilla Zone Zero right
sat
there.
in an MMO town and just jumped around while in a Discord call? Now this
I dare say that's why I stopped playing MMOs, because I would get in the Discord call with friends and then we would talk for hours and I realized I did nothing at all except jump. That's a true story. Okay, I do want to take a quick break here, and I want to talk to you guys about why the open world gacha fatigue is in fact an issue for a lot of people. I got some notes here that I think are very important, and they're basically open world gacha game issues at large that exist obviously exclusively inside of gacha games. The first one, and it kind of goes into a bunch of subcategories, is going to be that there's no real exploration. And that's kind of ridiculous. Why would I have an open world game with no real exploration? Well, the gacha system kind of clashes with this issue. Number one, There's no in-game gear to find as you explore. Why? Because stamina systems and instance area farms exist inside of these games, which go into dailies and weeklies. You log in, you spend your stamina. Hopefully you got the good gear for the day. And if you didn't, you log off. And so putting gear for you to find in the actual exploration experience would go against the stamina system. It would go against the gacha structure. The second one is no hidden abilities or characters to unlock via exploration. They are monetizing it via the gacha system instead. A lot of the times in open world games, you might get a character that becomes unlockable and playable and joins your party, so on and so forth, as you go around your merry little way. Well, that would put a big dent and butcher inside of the character gacha that they're trying to sell you and make a money off of, because their game is free to play, right? I'm just giving you the exact like why that doesn't exist in the explorative experience.
Okay. I call bullshit. I'll say a couple things. One, there's plenty to explore. I mean, if we're talking about the creme de la creme, namely Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, are the two best when it comes to the quantity of things to find and do, quests, hidden things, especially like early Genshin Impact. There is stuff to find and do under every nook and cranny. Now, maybe it's not an unlockable character or, you know, a new weapon that you found, but you know that going into the game, or you learn it very quickly. And so, to me, this video sounds like it's being marketed to someone that's never played a gacha game before. Because if you've played a gacha game, you understand that's the deal. And if that's not the experience you want, and you're pissed that you aren't unlocking new characters or new gear through, you know, open world and finding it in treasure chests, then you're going to go play Elden Ring, you know? Then you're going to go play Zelda. Then you're going to go play The Witcher. You're going to go play Elder Scrolls. You're going to go play Starfield. You're going to go play these games. You're not going to play Genshin Impact, okay? You're not going to play Wuthering Waves. And if you are playing those games and you have been playing them for a while, you already know this. And like, I don't feel like that is a valid reason to cite fatigue. I mean, I guess maybe you're just like upset that suddenly, like after, you know, 2 years of playing gacha games, you suddenly realize, oh fuck, I can't find, you know, I can't find weapons inside treasure chests in this game. And so I'm going to go play a different style of game. But I wouldn't even call that, I don't know. I just think this is, I think this is stupid. I think this guy maybe is just bored and wants to stir the pot maybe or something, because this is just a retarded argument thus far. But let's let this cocksucker continue.
There's no hidden abilities because the characters are being sold with you along with their abilities. Whereas in a lot of these games, you can unlock abilities as you go through the exploration experience. As you're unveiling lore, meeting new people, you're also going in these like dungeons and probably unlocking an ability. He can now cast fire. He can now cast thunder. He can now do a freaking swirl wind attack. You know what I mean? A shorter you can. None of that is going to be existing inside of a gacha game because that's a part of them selling you the character, right? And so now you're starting to see, as I list off these things, the issues and the over glaring problems as why it's hard for you to enjoy open world gacha games.
Okay. And those of you that have watched the channel before, you know that I do play games like I'm right now, one of the non-gacha games I'm playing is Ys 10 Proud Nordics, which is exactly like that. You unlock skills and new characters and that kind of stuff as you progress through the game. It's a standard open world game that is similar, at least it shares one similarity to party style gacha games, where you do have a party and the characters in your party have different skills and stuff, and can have some synergy, and they have ultimates. They have those kinds of things. They are inspired by anime. But that's sort of where the similarities end, I guess. Well, there's others, just they share some similarities in the world building type of thing. But again, like if I want that kind of experience, I do play a game like that. But I'm going to come back to my gacha home until such a time as I deem that I am tired of playing these games, and then I play a different game. This is what I don't get. Why make a whole video about it? Just go play another game. It just seems ridiculous to me.
It all has to do with gacha and making money. Unfortunately, that's the trade-off for them being free to play. Now, I don't think that's the only way. I just think that's what has worked and what has made the most money. Let's continue on though. No secret bosses to discover. Virtually no point, since
that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in Genshin, they have, and they have added, not even added, there's always been the legendary bosses that you can discover, and they are sort of just camped out in different random spots throughout the throughout each region, and you get extra rewards. It used to be just an achievement, and now it's some rewards that are claimed through Catherine at the Adventurers Guild. So there are secret bosses, and I believe other games do have it as well, but certainly I know that, well, yeah, NTE has its own version of that, right? Now they're not as secret in NTE because you can basically just track them. But in old school Genshin, before they had through the Adventurers Guild, it was just you happened upon these legendary bosses in the open world. And unless you're like looking it up online, you don't know where they are. You come across it as you experience the game and explore the map. So again, he's wrong on what is, am I 3 for 3? This dude's just, I don't know. He's just not making a compelling case to me.
All the gear and the weapons are put inside of a gacha system. Why would we put a secret boss in our map for you to fight? There's nothing you're going to get out of it. And
bro, you're getting polls, which is how you can hopefully acquire characters without spending money. You absolutely get something for it. Now, it all feeds into the gacha machine, and you have to spend money to acquire like all the characters if you want all of them. But again, like, you do receive rewards. They just might not be the same type of rewards that you would receive in The Witcher 3, for instance. So, like, I don't get, I still don't get the argument. I think it's stupid.
And even if they put a secret boss inside of the map, it's probably going to be brain dead and not move at all. No dungeons to conquer and explore. This doubles down, right? There's no dungeons to conquer and explore because it's replaced with the stamina system and a small instance area. Once again, when I'm having fun with open world games.
Also not true. Also not true. Now, I mean, you could even consider like Enkonomiya in Genshin to be a massive dungeon. When I went through, or like the pyramid system, the underground system of the pyramids in Sumeru, I would absolutely consider those to be dungeons. So again, wrong.
Games that are not gacha games. I'm one of the big motivating factors. I just think of like Clear Obscure Expedition 33, for example. I would go into these little instance dungeons because I knew I was going to get my ass whipped and I had to beat that boss. So there was a challenging aspect that was motivating, but I might also find some really strong gear or even change up the very nature of the build of the character that I'm utilizing. These are all components that would allow me to want to go inside of these places, to motivate me to explore and clear the whole map, because there could have been some cosmetics too. Speaking of which, there are no cosmetics to unlock as you explore in a lot of these open world gacha games because they're trying to sell you them in a shitty overpriced shop, and the cosmetics are pretty damn mid. Once again, it points towards the shop, it points towards the gacha system. I do think they could put cosmetics around the map for you to explore via NPCs, side quests.
No, that would be fine. And again, like, cosmetics is something that some people really care about. Others don't give a shit. I personally could care less. I am never going to spend money on cosmetics. It's just not my thing. But if people are into that, good. If not, and you agree with him and you take, I just think, who really gives a shit about cosmetics? Come on. Only whales care about that. I don't think free-to-play characters or free-to-play accounts even think about cosmetics. They just want to get the characters they want and build the teams they want and all that. They don't care about cosmetics.
And exploration quests, right? I do think they should do that, but it does cut into the gacha structure that makes them, maximize a profit. Now, open world enemy threats. This is a big one. Yeah, this is a huge pause inside of Genizad's reaction, but I wanted to get through these. In fact, we'll probably take a break after this one and get back to the react, because at this point, you're just watching a Gacha Smack video of me. Yeah, open world enemy threats. Brain dead bots that barely move all throughout the open world. If they made them challenging, you know who would be mad? Mobile players, because mobile players would be bitching about how they can't get through the game because the open world enemies are too challenging. That's another thing that goes inside of a gacha game, trying to appease not only a PC market, but...
Okay. This is what I'm going to say about this. Gacha games are fluid. And what I mean by that is they are live. So every 6 weeks, roughly, the game gets an update, potentially a map expansion, new characters, new enemies, all this kind of stuff. And you have to remember how many hours you put into the game before you got your characters to, let's say, level 80. Let's just use Wuthering Waves as an example right now, just for the hell of it. Okay. How many hours do you think you put into it before you got to level 80? And prior to that point, how challenging were overworld enemies? They were at least somewhat challenging, right? Challenging enough that the game felt... I mean, I remember people describing Wuthering Waves to me as an Elden Ring style game because of one of the reasons they cited was that there was some challenge to it. Now, once you get to level 80 and especially level 90 characters and you have, you start putting together some pretty sweaty teams, yes, the overworld is very, very easy. But you also have to remember that in any game, you get a certain... If we're talking about Elden Ring or The Witcher 3, once you've played it a certain amount of hours, you beat the game. Well, in Wuthering Waves, there's no way for them to continue to give you increasingly more and more challenging overworld enemies. Once you experience the game beyond that certain threshold of hours and level cap, and you break through to the level cap of 90, it would be almost impossible for devs to give you that experience. And so it's unfair to even try to compare it to standard open world games. And I think he's comparing apples and oranges here and trying to make himself sound really smart as he does it, and it just does not... it flies in the face of reality. So, another stupid point.
A mobile market, because they make a lot of money off mobile players. But there's no sense of danger when every single enemy in the world is a joke. In fact, you start to feel like you've conquered that area entirely. And once you feel that sensation of I've conquered this area, why the fuck would I want to explore it? Does that make sense? There's less reason to explore. And so I want to get back to the react. I got more things listed here, but I wanted to make sure we tackled these things as effectively as we possibly could, because my goal with this video and this react is to make people fundamentally aware of the glaring problems with these open world gacha games.
Okay, we're going to call it there. I just wanted to really react to this dude's opening points here. And I think we're like 5 for 5. We shot everything down. The only thing that maybe you might find yourself agreeing with him with is the cosmetic thing, if that matters to you. So we're gonna call it there. I think that I've successfully put poked holes in this dumbass's take on all of this. So if you guys find yourself agreeing with anything I say, or if you find me even slightly less annoying than this fucking jackass, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. And please like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and let me know if you'd like to see any more reaction videos. We're just trying to punch up, jump in on the drama. Please remember to support small channels. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Adios.